microvascular and macrovascular. Microvascular comes under diabetic neuropathy, diabetic cardiomyopathy.
Okay, ma'am. What is diabetic cardiomyopathy? Will you tell?
When there is left ventricle affected, where the blood pumps to the aorta artery.
Okay, Usha ma'am will tell what is diabetic cardiomyopathy.
Ma'am, diabetic cardiomyopathy is the disease that affects the left ventricle of our body. Left ventricle because it is the ventricle that pumps into the aorta, and aorta is the artery that is pumping blood throughout the body. That particular part, the left ventricle, gets affected in diabetic cardiomyopathy.
Like whole heart is affected, but more affected is ventricle. So, what is hyperglycemia? Who will tell? Hyperglycemia. Aarti ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
High level of glucose in the blood.
Okay, so what is the difference between hyperglycemia and diabetes?
Hyperglycemia and there is a deficiency of the insulin in the beta cells. That is the hyperglycemia.
No, actually, hyperglycemia is this state of like higher level of glucose in the bloodstream is called as hyperglycemia, and this hyperglycemia itself leads to diabetes. Because in diabetes also we say a person is having high sugar, in hyperglycemia also high sugar. Who will tell what is hypoglycemia? Rupali ma'am will tell.
Hypoglycemia is opposite to hyperglycemia.
What opposite?
Means in hyperglycemia, high level of glucose is present in the bloodstream, but in hypoglycemia, lack of glucose in the bloodstream.
Lack. No glucose in the body.
Deficiency of glucose.
Okay. Okay, so we'll tell what is allergic rhinitis. Rajdeep sir will tell. Third, fourth time I'm asking question from you. Same question. Allergic rhinitis. What is allergic rhinitis, Rajdeep sir?
Itis means inflammation. In the nasal passage, if some inflammation is occurring, then it is called allergic rhinitis.
So then what is sinusitis if it is?
Sinusitis, we have six pair of sinus.
Okay, what
If
are the names
inflam-
of sinuses?
Yes,
What are the names of those sinuses?
there are in our eyebrow region there are two frontal sinus, and there are two sides of the nose. They are called. I just forgot the name. If
Maxillary. Maxillary sinuses.
maxillary sinus, frontal sinus, maxillary sinus, and another pair. Forgot the name.
With the
If
name of
you-
the bones, two bones. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you. Sphenoidal sinuses and ethmoidal sinuses. Okay. You should remember first class also. Who will tell what is dysmenorrhea? Rupali ma'am, have you revised this one?
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay, Anita ma'am will tell. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
What is dysmenorrhea? Anita ma'am, are you there?
ma'am, what question, ma'am? Its
Is
voice is
What is dysmenorrhea?
No, ma'am, I don't remember, ma'am.
Okay, Sonia ma'am will tell.
Yes, ma'am. It is painful during the menstruation.
Okay. Normally also female used to have the painful menstruation, but if it is it is becoming the hindrance in your day-to-day life, then it can be diagnosed as a dysmenorrhea. Who will tell how many types of dysmenorrheas are there? Rupali ma'am, that you know? No. Okay.
Ma'am, I can't go through with these recordings.
Aarti ma'am will tell how many types of dysmenorrhea are there.
Two types, primary and secondary.
Okay. Usha ma'am will tell what is secondary dysmenorrhea.
Secondary dysmenorrhea occurs when there's an underlying condition, a medical condition.
Like,
It could be fibroids, or it could be tumors, or any other malignant growths.
okay ma'am.
Yeah.
What is primary dysmenorrhea? Anita ma'am, you know?
Yes, ma'am. It's a painful periods. Before 2 days, we'll get the pain. After period, we will get the pain. It will exist at 12 to 72 hours like that.
Sonia ma'am, you will tell what is primary dysmenorrhea.
Yes, ma'am. In primary dysmenorrhea, there is no medical condition for this cause. It is mainly due to the contractions of uterine muscles that help to set the bloods, the uterine lining.
Okay. What is menarche? I told you yesterday. What is menarche and what is menopause? Okay, Rajdeep sir will tell.
Menopause is stoppage of period, and menarche is stoppage. But menopause is a 1 year stoppage. Then ultimately, if the period is stopped, then it is called menopause. In menarche is sudden stop, and then again the period will continue. Then it is called menarche.
Okay, Usha ma'am will tell what is menopause and menarche. Say sir, it is good.
Ma'am, menarche is the onset of these period cycles. When
Yeah.
a girl matures, that is called menarche. The first time when she matures, that's called menarche.
Yes, menopause.
And menopause is a condition where the periods stop.
What is the age for the menopause?
Menopause, the onset somewhere between 40 and 50, but the onset can happen towards the end of 30s and goes on up till 50s. It depends on the person.
Okay. So, thank you. Now we'll go for, I will present my screen. We'll study a little, okay? My screen is visible to all. Full screen.
No, ma'am.
No.
We are not presenting it.
1 second. Actually, I'm. Now it is.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so today, Hariom,
Still, you're not presenting your slides. Your screen is visible, but the slides are not.
slides are not visible.
No.
One second. Now is it visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am, yes.
Okay. So today, Hariom everyone, will start with gastrointestinal disorders. What is gastrointestinal disorders? This is something related to gastro and intestinal. Intestinal is intestine. Gastro is something which is related to your abdominal part or abdominal region. Okay. So disorders which are related to it. First, we'll go for gastritis. So this is the syllabus in gastrointestinal disorders, what all we have to study. Today we'll go with gastritis and indigestion. So what is gastritis? Because it is very short topics. Therefore, because I thought that I will take your question and answers today, but still a little we can study today. So gas, as I told you, gastro is something which is related to abdominal region. Okay, so gastro is for that, and itis again the same. Itis is for inflammation. Okay, this is nothing but inflammation. So this is called the inflammation. Something which is related to abdominal inflammation is called gastritis. So therefore, what exactly the inflammation is happening in the abdomen, the inner layer, which is called as, who will tell? Inner layer of abdomen will called as,
Mucous
Mucus.
membrane.
Mucus.
yes, this when the inflammation in this mucosal membrane is there, it is called as gastritis. Therefore, we can see gastritis is a general term for the group of the conditions with one thing in the common. One thing common is inflammation or the lining of the stomach. In the lining of stomach, which lining of the stomach? Mucosal membrane of the stomach. Okay, inner mucosal lining of the stomach. Okay, aggressive factors overwhelms defensive factors, because defensive factor here are immune system. Okay, these aggressive factors will be our like acids and all which are necessary for our body. We'll see ahead in further slides. So those are overwhelming on the defensive factors. So the stomach lining contains the gland that produces, because you have studied which hormone, sorry, which chemical or is released in, or which acid is released in stomach.
Hydrochloric.
Yes, hydrochloric HCl is released. So this is HCl is very important for us. But if the everything is in the moderate amount is okay. When it will be too high, it will leads to the problem. Okay. So stomach lining contains glands that produces stomach acid. Okay, that stomach acid is nothing but HCl. Okay. Cell and enzymes necessary for the digestion of the food, because this is very much necessary for digestion of food, as it break down the foods and further help in digestion also. In some cases, gastritis can lead to ulcers. Of course, regular the gastritis for long term can lead for ulcer and increased risk of the stomach cancer. Okay, this could be that much harmful for us. Okay, so but if these HCl or this stomach acid is not in the moderate amount or in the large amount, can lead to damage. It will start damaging the inner layer in turn of it. Our like if it will be start damaging inner layer, our immune system will definitely going to be active, that anything something which is providing harm to the body, and definitely immune system will get activated. And one of the symptom of immune system activation is inflammation. Okay, because whenever if you see on your hand, if there is any cut, then after few days when it starts like getting good, or proper, a little inflammation is there, reddish color is there. These all are the symptoms of this one. Okay, so our immune system will, in order to, in its turn, immune system will start inflamming that layer. Okay, inflammation will be seen on that layer, which is called as again gastritis, because in gastric area, the in stomach area, itis, that is inflammation is happening. Inflammation of the whole stomach, if inflammation of the whole stomach is there, is called as pan-gastritis. And if there is inflammation in the any particular part of the stomach, then it is called as antral gastritis.
Ma'am, can you go back to the previous slide once?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What is the last point, ma'am? Aggressive?
Aggressive.
What does that mean?
I told you that the aggressive factors overwhelms on the defensive factor. Here, defensive factor means immune system, defense mechanism. Immune system is also called as defense mechanism. Na? An aggressive factor here could be HCl or the your acid of the body. Okay, so these aggressive factors are overwhelming your offensive factors.
Got it, ma'am. Got it.
Okay, ma'am. Can I go to next slide? So now we'll go for, as you have done this, we'll go for types. So how many types of gastritis is there? Acute and chronic. By the name itself, you will come to know, need not to even study. Okay, acute gastritis, of course, for something short period of the time or sudden interval. So acute gastritis is a sudden inflammation of the lining of the stomach. Okay, if any sudden inflammation or lining in the stomach, it is called as acute gastritis, occurs suddenly. This is the symptom. And chronic, of course, inflammation of the lining of the stomach that occurs gradually, slowly, persistent for the prolonged time. Okay, slowly this is happening even though not showing some symptoms. Still, slowly it could happen, start, and can result into the big disorder. Appears slowly over a time. And then okay, this is the main two types of the gastritis. Then we'll go for symptoms. What could be the symptoms? Abdominal pain or discomfort, and the reason where problem is there, of course, discomfort, nausea, feeling of vomiting, and even vomiting could happen. Indigestion, they will not feel good and food is not digested proper, belching, bloating, gastric feeling in your, and loss of appetite. You will have less urge for eating foods and all. Blood in the vomiting, stools. In severe cases, this could happen that blood will come because inflammation is there. Breakdown of the lining will happen. It will result into blood formation, like blood out from the body. Now, feeling of the fullness. The person feels that I'm too much full, though didn't eat that much. Still, in normal, even eating less than the normal diet, still feel fullness. Burning, ache or pain, indigestion in your upper abdomen that may becomes either worsen or better with the eating. It could be good with the eating also, or could happen that it can become more worsen with eating. Okay, so see what is the condition that even the person can't eat properly, even can't like stay without food. So such a, if it gets severe, really like severe, it can cause too much. So causes, whatever I have told you before, the whole process, how it gets inflamed. This is written in the words here. Still, we can read first once. Gastritis is the inflammation of the stomach lining, weaknesses or injury to the mucus line. Mucus line is mucosal membrane, line barrier that protects the stomach wall, allows digestive juices to damage and inflame. This condition will leads to digestive juices to damage and inflame the stomach lining. So these acids, which are even useful for us, are now acting as a problematic situation for us. Okay, a number of the diseases or condition can therefore, of course, if such a problem is happening, this the lining is damaging, it could lead to the risk factor. It could be the risk factors for further diseases. Okay, like Crohn's disease and all that we'll study in this colitis and all. Okay, what is Crohn's disease? Now, the inflammation of the gastritis is most often the results of infection with the same bacteria that causes most stomach ulcers or the regular use of the certain pain relievers. Okay, so when we are regularly on the some pain relievers, or we are having like bacterial attack, it could also leads to this. main bacteria is called as this one here.
Escherichia coli, E. coli.
E. coli, no, ma'am. H. pylori. Bacteria.
Yeah, H. pylori.
H. pylori, yes. And H. pylori is main for this one. Or other infections also can lead for breakdown of or inflammation of your linings. Drinking too much alcohol, of course. Before also acid is there more. This even the person have the feeling of like food is coming. We'll see in ahead slides also. Okay, food is coming back from to their mouth or sometimes like that. In belching and all also is there. These are the main causes, nothing but which leads to the inflammation. Risk factors is bacteria infections, of course, regular use of the pain relievers, age oriented also, even if the person having genetic issues for the same, excessive cancer treatment. Cancer treatment means they are having the radiation therapies that can also lead for this. Your own body attacking cells in the stomach. What type of cells these are? Like I told you, no, our own immune cells. Okay, our own immune cells are attacking ourselves because they are not. They are
T
not.
cells, ma'am.
They are not identifying themselves as ST cells are one of the immune system cells only, defensive cells only. Others are also there. But who will tell that in allergic rhinitis we have studied something related to this autoimmune? The reason for the
Histamine.
yes, very good, very good. Histamine is the one of the example for this. I'm telling this to make you revise. Okay, histamine is something which is wrongly identify its own cells to be antibodies.
Ma'am, just go back to the risk slide. Yeah. Risk factors.
Yes, ma'am. Untreated or severe gastritis can lead to complications such as stomach ulcers and bleeding. Okay, this is very simple gastritis. Even we have completed with this. We'll now go for last indigestion. Very short or 5 to 6 slides only because nothing indigestion is very simple. Still to make you have a note, I have made the slides even not required. So can I go back, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Whosoever is there in the class, this topic is very. These topics are very easy. So if I'll ask tomorrow about these topics, please don't say that I didn't attend the session. Without attending also you can have, but still some words are there, so give the answers for those. Now, okay, now we'll go for indigestion. Okay, now in this we'll study about indigestion. So before let us know about indigestion, we'll see what is dyspepsia. So dyspepsia is pepsine. What is pepsine? Who will tell? We have studies in anatomy and physiology.
It's an enzyme for digesting proteins.
Okay. Yes, and which also helps in further digestion. So dyspepsia, this is not related to that, but I just have this name, so I asked who to revise all this. So dyspepsia is a collective term for any symptoms thought to be originated from the gastrointestinal tract. We with this term dyspepsia we can understand because there's from this pepsine also in upper part, and any problematic situation in that is called as. So anything which is it is collectively term, okay, which is relating or which is creating symptoms which are originated from the upper gastrointestinal tract is called as dyspepsia. Okay, it could show certain symptoms which are written here, though not required for you. Still, heartburn, upper abdominal discomfort, regurgitation. That regurgitation is the word which is for eat. We are eating the food and still the food is coming out. Have eaten and it is coming out back. Okay, with back flow, bloating, fullness. These all are the symptoms which are which comes in this dyspepsia, okay, which comes under the dyspepsia, because dyspepsia is the collective term for these symptoms, okay, which are creating problem in your upper gastritic tract. Now we'll go for indigestion. Everyone knows indigestion, okay? No proper, our food is properly not getting digested, or whatever we are eating is not getting digested, is called as indigestion. Indigestion is also called as dyspepsia, okay? Therefore, I have written you this some word, okay? Dyspepsia, which are showing these symptoms. So, because indigestion is not a particular disease, it is itself a symptoms. We all know that the indigestion is a symptom for other different diseases, okay? The digestion is not happening properly, so it is a symptom itself. Therefore it is called as dyspepsia. It is a term. What is dyspepsia? Dyspepsia is for these symptoms. So if it is showing these symptoms, it is dyspepsia. So therefore it is also called as, or a upset stomach, we can say, okay? Discomfort in our upper abdomen. Indigestion describes certain symptoms such as abdominal pain, feeling of fullness after you start eating, rather than the specific disease, okay? It is not a specific disease. It's not a disease itself, but a symptom of an underlying issue with the digestive system. But still, as it is in our syllabus, so I have to like make this separate.
Just wait, ma'am. Just
Therefore, I have make it separately, though it is nothing but in that only. But in our syllabus, it is separate. So, okay, ma'am. Next. So 9 o'clock have happened, but still we'll complete it in within 5-6 minutes. Okay, can I go ahead?
ma'am.
So again, the symptoms, which definitely it will be similar to as of gastritis, not as exactly as gastritis. No bleeding and all will happen, but like similar. Because something we are feeling that fullness. Okay, we are feeling that even we are not eating that much, still it is getting like we have eaten. Okay, that is indigestion actually, because the food what we have eaten before is not digested properly. Okay, therefore early fullness during a meal. Early fullness means that how much we have to eat and we are not eating, still we feel that I am full. Okay, if we have to eat one chapati, we are eating 1, 2, 3 bites and we are feeling that I am okay, I am completed with this my food. Uncomfortable fullness after a meal. Okay, after eating meal also having uncomfortable feeling, discomfort in upper abdomen, burning in the upper abdomen, bloating in the upper abdomen, and nausea. Okay, feeling of vomiting. Now, causes overeating can also leads for indigestion. Not proper digestion will happen. Spicy or the fatty foods will not leads to proper digestion. Then stress is the main cause for everything. Medications, sometimes medications also leads for this. Inflammation. This C. Helicobacter pylori. H. pylori we used to call it. H. pylori is also could be, as I told you, bacterial infection can also lead. So this H. pylori infection. This bacterium can infect the stomach lining and can lead for gastritis, that inflammation, which can cause further indigestion. Okay, so that as I told you in gastritis, that the bacterial infection or bacterial effect attack can also lead for this. This is the reason. Okay, as this can lead to gastritis, and further, the one of the symptoms is indigestion. Then dyspepsia. Dyspepsia we have studied. So management and treatment, nothing, we'll see yogic management afterward, but with whole that. But main management we can do is for indigestion is nothing. You can take any medicine for indigestion. Okay, I'm not having proper digestion. Please give me medicine. Okay, those medicine will if have further your disadvantages or bad effect on your body. So dietary changes, of course, if we are taking too heavy foods or like non-veg foods and all, we can go for the light foods like khichdi and all, which further leads for further we can give them many treatments in naturopathy also, as you all have known that enema and kunjan kriya, we have to call vaman kriya. Okay, all this we can go for. Then lifestyle modification. In lifestyle modification they can go for certain, because sometimes sitting jobs like in IT sectors and all, they are sitting eating food and sitting, and nowadays work from home is also very much in trend. Yeah, we can see in trend from corona. So this is also not good. We have to go for lifestyle modifications to do some activities, running, jumping, exercise, some pranayam practice on like that. We should involve ourselves in some activities which will help food to be digested. So with this, we have completed indigestion also. If any doubts, you all can ask. Otherwise, we have completed with this. Kindly revise this and whatever I have studied before, I'll ask the question and then we'll continue and complete this. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yesterday's holiday was also there. 3 days regular holidays. Still people didn't revise. Huh? Please revise everything. Make notes in your class. Okay, so thank you so much to everyone. Sorry, I have left the class by mistake.
Thank you, ma'am.
You all can
Okay,
leave.
ma'am. Thank you.